Hello everybody. So this will be the third video on the series. I carved two faces down there. I decided that I'm not going to carve up here, and I might put some runes in here for my last when we start doing the details, the teeth and the eyes and stuff like that. But for this part of the video, it's like a sauna in this room. It's so friggin' hot outside right now. It's a sauna in this room, and I don't want to do a lot of carving, but I want to finish this piece off. I like the way that looks like it's all weathered up there. You see, naturally weathered driftwood. This one I had to cut to make it smaller to fit in my table. So what I want to do is I want to focus, just do like a little Japanese swoosh wind line in there. And I want to talk about possibly undercuts because I think for the very beginning, undercuts are important to make your carving really stand out from the others. So it looks like you have a piece sitting on here, not in there. If that it separates the piece from it separates your little carving from the piece itself, and it gives you shadows. So this is not going to be a very technical carving. It's just kind of what I do. It's going to be like a round swoosh line with some lines coming off of it, and we'll see if we can do some undercuts. So you can almost use the center line as your this crack here. Sorry, as your center line. But well, let's kind of offset the center of this. This is like old Japanese kind of wind stuff. You know, when you do this, you can make it so it has clouds too. So you go like this, and then there's the clouds on it. Maybe we'll try for that this time. But like I said, I don't want to spend too much time in this room today. And we'll keep it going down here. Maybe we can just go like this. Okay, so um, when you look at a piece like this is like like I said, old Japanese with these would act as clouds, these round parts here. But I think we're gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna put those in. I don't know if I want to do all that extra carving. I think we're just gonna go with the swirly lines. I'm just going to start off, and once I get carving and my mind opens up, then I can, I can make lines come off here too, and whatever you want to do. You just want to blend them all in together nicely. Or you could make another swirly thing here. Yeah, let's do two. Well, they say, anyways, we'll figure it out. And for those of you that haven't seen the first two videos of this is Western Red Cedar first growth, means it's tight grain. Here's your Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr. I run a Dremel 4000. If you want to get these burrs, just go to the Kutzall site down below in the description. It will take you to the Kutzall site. Use the code CFusion, save yourself 5%. Okay, so I do run a foot pedal. Let's get this party started. This is really good practice too to make like so all your lines are nice and round. So we'll blend this up. We'll make everything nice and smooth, so we'll blend this line up in here. Okay, so let's go here. Now we have to start tapering our lines down. Just kind of round the edges. Okay, so when I was carving this stuff down here, I was thinking to myself, well, this is a beginner's video, and that's not very easy to explain how to do undercuts on this when there's so much going on. And to tell you the truth, I don't even think it needs any undercuts. Well, we could put some undercuts right here where my thumb's tapping. But so when I was carving, I said, well, I need to make it easier for people to understand that don't basically get the gist of the undercut. So you can see here I have a cedar board. I'm going to do an undercut on this. I cut it away with my Kutzall burr. So let me put the camera in the overhead. So this would be, pretend this would be a leaf, for example. We'll just draw a big leaf on here. Okay, maybe not a leaf. Just let's pretend this is a piece of bamboo right here. Okay. This is bamboo right here. Then you got your bamboo shoot right whatever here. Your pieces where it separates, and there's a piece down here where it does the same thing. So we're just going to focus on this area right here. So you see now there's not really any shadow. It looks like this piece of wood. It looks like this. Okay, slow down, Jordy. It looks like the bamboo piece. This piece here is attached to this piece, how it rides up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to decide which burr we're going to use. I think we're going to use this Kutzall taper burr. Okay, and we're going to put it in our Dremel flex shaft, and we're going to go like this underneath the bamboo. We're going to curve it underneath. Then when you do an undercut underneath the piece of bamboo, you got to remove all this wood here too, because you don't want it to look like there's a bump there, like a wood carver that knows what's go. Okay, if you don't remove all this wood from your undercut, a wood carver or another artist will see that there's just a big bump there, and he knows that that's cut in. You don't want to make it look like this is cut in. You want to make it look like this. What's your objective to do with the undercut is make it look like this bamboo is a total different piece of wood, and you glued it on. How's that? Okay, so I did a little bit more carving with the extreme burr on there. So pretend this is just the top of your bamboo right here, and there's a bamboo piece, and here's the top. So I have the taper burr in. Also, these burrs work good for undercuts too. Is these cheap Chinese cutters? I call them the 3-point cutters with 3 flutes on them. They work really good for undercuts too. You just kind of drag it along, and you get underneath the bamboo. But let's just do it with this taper bar first. See how I'm getting underneath the bamboo? And you don't have to do it like me. Take your time, do a few passes. Okay, so now you can start seeing shadow. Look at the shadows. I don't know if you can see it, but now we got to remove this wood. We got to taper it all back. So I'm going to switch burrs and make it, I did carve a little bit deep in here, but we're going to, okay, let me see. Can you see that here? You don't want it to be like this right here. You want it to be more like, you want to hide the slope. I don't know if this is on camera. I can't really see. But you want to make it like this. Not like that, because that's an obvious cut. Right? So like this. Here. I got to put on my extreme burr and, well, give it that slope. Remove all this wood. All the way in here. And around here. Okay. Now you can see in there the undercut. See the undercut there? Now, see that slope where my thumb is? The more that you take this slope back, like say there would be a, let's just put a big leaf here. Say there's going to be a big leaf here, okay? Then you got to do it. You got to carve it, your line on the outside of your line. Then you do your undercut. So say the leaf depth comes to about here, and like this. So the more that you remove this wood in between your two objects, so you got an object here, this would be sticking off like the bamboo. The more that you remove the wood in between your two objects, make it and not make it like bumpy in there, the more it's going to look like these pieces are glued on. Does that make sense? So all here would be straight, and all this wood here would be removed, and you'd have a nice undercut on this leaf. Now, I don't have the best lighting here for shadows, but you see, there's a little bit of an undercut there. So the more that you remove the wood from the undercut, it creates a lot more work. It creates so much more work for you because you got to remove all this wood in between here. But it makes your piece pop. So let me turn off one of these lights. So there's a shadow. That's what you get from doing undercuts. You'd still get the shadow if you didn't do the undercut, but it wouldn't look like this piece is riding up right here. You can do undercuts with wood burners too. I got one of these burs hooked up to my flex shaft right now. So I hope that helps you. See how it looks like? Well, I don't have the best lighting. It's with the proper lighting, it would look like this piece was glued on. Anyways, I'm going to do a couple undercuts on this piece now. I think I'm going to do undercuts under here. So what you got to do is get your burr. And I'm just like you guys. I'm just trying to explain so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. How much it will make your piece better. So I got to do a undercut here. Then remove the wood here to make this piece pop off. Okay, undercut, remove, undercut, remove. So I'll probably do the undercuts with this. Then I'll switch back to the taper burr to smoothen it out. And I'll see if there's any other spots I can do here. Actually, you know what? This beard, see his beard there? I could do a whole undercut right underneath this beard to separate it from this. That's a perfect example. Let's start off with that. And I'll start off with the taper burr. So, because right now, the beard looks like it's just attached to all this stuff down here. See how it rides up underneath that beard? I'm going to separate it. Screw it. I already got one of these Chinese cutters in. I'm going to use this. Let's see here. I think that's good enough. I could undercut. That's kind of more than what I wanted to do. there, I think you guys can see my point. Now I'm going to hook up this taper burr and smooth everything off because you'll have cut lines on the under there. I'm just going to keep rolling live. All right, come on, what's going on here? Push your burr in, pull it out a little bit, tighten it up. Now I just get this other burr here, less aggressive. Okay, so back to this bamboo piece. I finished the other piece over here. We'll talk about that in a minute. So another good thing for undercut is for painting. You know, so here's well, the bamboo should be green, but this is the background. So you can get under there, you know. You can get under the piece. Let's put a little bit more green here. And then you see, now you put your red on, red bamboo, and you can separate the paints a lot easier. You see that? Let's just do this here. I'm just trying to explain this to you so it makes sense to you because I'm not getting the shadow on this piece because of my lighting. So then we'll just go like this, give a nice pass here. It's an easy way to separate the paint so you don't have to try and wait for one paint to dry. And anyways, whatever. There. Look how two separate pieces. For the love of, look how it's separated. Okay, yep. Let's turn this light off, see if we can get a shadow. No, problems with shadows today. We're having, well, you get a little bit. Shadow problems. Okay, so I had to adjust the light, but there you can see, there's my point. It doesn't look like it's attached to that. There, right there, look. It looks like it's glued on. So I sanded this one up, and there's some, let me get things back to normal here with this light. I quickly sanded this up. Undercuts. Look above my finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shadows. Look at the beard. Shadow. Looks like it's above. The beard looks like it's above this stuff. I think undercuts are very important in your wood carvings. For this last video here, we will do the teeth, we'll do the eyes, and maybe some Viking runes up in here. This piece is going to be for a subscriber. I'm going to be mailing it to them. Anyways, carving fusion. Don't sweat in your carving room. Don't sweat in your carving room. Because I'm sweating right now. Big time. Undercuts. See? Look at those undercuts. Look at those shadows I got down there. Look at the beard. Separates it.